All right. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Amawan Ariala with the GMS Miami camp. And before we begin, I definitely want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh is the name of his only begotten Son. Yahweh Shai Salak is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. And today I wanted to go into the chariots of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. And how they were created to be a blessing and a curse. All right. A blessing to the elect and a curse to the two-thirds and the rest of this world, man. All right. And also with the heathen, starting with the nation of Esau, Edom. Because at the end of the day, man, Esau, Edom has downplayed the chariots of the Heavenly Father. He's made it into a sci-fi, uh, um, a sci-fi movie type thing. We all remember the movie Independence Day, right? Where this, big UFO hovers over the U.S. Capitol building, right? The White House, and destroys it. Well, in Hollywood, if you know it or not, in order to be a producer in Hollywood, you have to have a good understanding of the Bible. So what they displayed on Independence Day was a good example of the chariot of the Heavenly Father. They actually got that directly from the Bible, all right? And that's in the book of Second Exodus 13. And we're going to grab that within this lesson, all right, to show you that, Esau knows that the world is, going to end through, the Lord destroying it, all right? It's going to be a so-called alien invasion. Okay, and the Lord is going to be tormenting a lot of people. All right, through laser beams. All right, through tempests and sulfur. It's going to be real bad out here, man. You're not going to want to, be on the wrong side of the team in that day. You definitely want to be on the side of the winning team when you have Bashmi how a shot cracks that cloud. Um, I have a video. All right, this is fair use. All right, it's just for educational purposes only. But you're going to see a U.S. NASA engineer talking about the chariots and what he saw on those chariots, man. All right, and this is just to further motivate and to further exhort the body to keep on pushing. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to play this video. It's about 3 or 4 minutes long, but listen to what he says, man. Listen to how he describes what he saw. All right, and understand that what he actually saw were the angels of the Heavenly Father. Okay, there weren't, reptilians or Anunnakis and none of that bullshit that Esau likes to come up with. All right, these are the angels of the Heavenly Father. All right, so let's play this video real quick. Salakia, brothers. Hold on one second.
Okay, but if there are craft, there are beings.
Um, okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
Vehicles, right? So when you go into the word chariot, all right, just real quick, man. When we go into the word chariot, that actually goes into vehicle. That's where they get the word car from the word chariot. All right, an ancient two-wheel vehicle used in war, racing, or private life. Okay, old French chariot wagon, augmented from late Latin carum, right, where you get the word car from. Okay, right here it has the definition of car, wheel vehicle from Anglo-French carré. All right, which means chariot. Okay, so the Heavenly Father uses vehicles as well, man. All right, and he does it through what the world ignorantly calls UAPs or UFOs.
Now, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor say, you ought to call them objects. No, I said, no. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. They can move. They're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Very interesting.
Okay, somebody
All right,
comes
hey,
along.
scripture talks about how he was going to make their own tongue to fall on themselves, man. Like Esau's going to be snitching on Esau. All right, talking about things that he saw. All right, telling the public, his encounters and things like that. And Esau wants to keep these things on a wrap because, he has to perpetuate the lie that he was the beginning of everything. All right, he was a caveman. He was everything. Man, granted, he was a caveman. All right, but he puts it as himself as being there in the beginning of time. All right, so this is Psalm 64:8. It says, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. all that see them shall flee away. Okay? And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. All right, and this is talking about the wicked, man. This is David talking about the wicked. All right, it says in verse 2, hide me from the counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, the Lord said that he's going to cause them to make their own tongues to fall upon themselves, and this is what's happening here, man.
It says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only...
Hey, and I want y'all to peep the title. Norman Bergen, NASA engineer, says 7-foot black people piloting gigantic cylinder ships around Saturn. That's very interesting that it said it was gigantic cylinder ships.
Go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
You hear what Esau just said? When he looked, he saw what came out of those chariots. They looked like black people. What looked like Nubian people. Dark-skinned people, Kadar, because there's no such thing as black. All right, we are dark-skinned people, and we're gonna get our melanin back too. All right, for those of us who look like the other nations, man.
Very tall.
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
it's safe. 7.
And look at Esau's face. Esau looks worried, man. 7 foot.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's?
Could this be what they, Could this be what they saw in the mall? Those tall, dark shadows. All right. Could it be the angels of the Lord that were in that mall that day? Who knows? Okay, but we do know that Esau Edom has been lying for a very long time, man, about these so-called UFOs, which we know them to be today as the chariots of the Heavenly Father. All right, but out of the horse's mouth, you see Esau Edom confessing, man. When he looked at those people coming out of those chariots, they were dark-skinned, 7-foot Nubian type people, man. And look at his face; he's worried to death, and I would be too if I enslaved the children of the Most High God. There's a recompense for that, man. You got to pay, Esau. You just gonna have to pay. Take your judgment and call it a day. All right. So I'm gonna let this play some more.
No.
Oh, you haven't? Have you ever been in touch with him?
No.
No?
There is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Yeah, do a little worried.
Well, what-
man.
safe. 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Okay. So Esau Edom knows, man. He knows that the chariots of the Heavenly Father, all the UFOs or the UAPs. He knows that the angels of the Lord are dark-skinned men. All right. These guys is old as hell. He has nothing to lose. What are they gonna do? Come and kill him? He ain't got nothing to lose. You see what I'm saying to you? And it's all through the scriptures, man. The Heavenly Father has used his angels to fight for his people, man, for his men in particularly. All right, let's go to the book of 2 Kings chapter 6. All right, we'll start at verse 15. All right, this is an account of Elisha. All right, it says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city with horses, both with horses and chariots. All right, and this is talking about actual physical horses, right? This is the means and the whereabouts of how these other nations got around. They use physical horses and actual vehicles to get around. Okay, and it says, and his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? Because his servant is looking with his physical eye, and he's looking at what's surrounding him, and all he sees is trouble. So he's in despair, and he's asking his master, what are they going to do? What is he going to do? Right? Because he's afraid. Verse 16, and the elect, we're going to be faced with that too, man. We're going to be looking around us. We're going to see the enemy surrounding us, and we're going to be afraid. But what do the scriptures say about the Lord? What did the Lord say he was going to do, man? All right, what did the Lord say he's going to do? Let's look at the scriptures here. All right, this is Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, right? Because it's going to be a point in time where, Esau, Edom, he's going to come in like a flood. What are you going to do? Right? And it's not the first time. We're reading it here in the book of 2 Kings 6 and 15 where, Elisha was surrounded by armies, man. Was he afraid? Did he shake? Did he tremble? You see, it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. All right, or put him to flight, meaning what? The Lord's going to give his men supernatural power, and or there's going to be supernatural powers fighting for Jacob, man. Because regardless of if you believe it or not, that's not what this is all about. Because we know that what we're reading and what we're studying is to be true. We know it's to be real. Okay? And it says here, it says, and behold, Salakia. Let's go back a little bit. All right. And it says, and he answered, he said, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of the horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Now we read about the chariots and the horses, right, on the ground from the enemy, and then now we're hearing about the chariots of fire on the mountain around about Elisha, right? Because the angels of the Lord surround them that trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So what? The Lord's not going to come through for his men in these days? He's not going to lift up a standard in these days the same way he did for Elisha and his other prophets, where he gave them strength, taught their hands to war, to climb walls? The Lord's not going to do that for us today. But I digress. That's going to supernatural power. We're talking about the chariots of the Heavenly Father, right? Which we know are to be amazing vehicles that the Lord has used before to destroy his enemies. Right? Especially Pharaoh. The Lord used those chariots to destroy Pharaoh. Okay? But once again, the Lord's going to destroy this world as we know it, this age, this eon. Is going to end with a bang. It's going to begin with those chariots, man. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 66 and 15. All right, and it reads, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots. The Lord, when he comes back, he's coming with fire and chariots. What do you do with fire? You destroy. Okay? You ain't coming to make no peace. And with his chariots like a whirlwind, what? To render, to give, to pay back his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead, which means judge with all flesh. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. So the Lord is coming to destroy a lot of people, to take a lot of people out. Ezekiel 9 and 6. All right. Put a mark on the foreheads of men of those that sigh and cry for all the abominations. And everybody else, you just smite, man. Young and old, whatever. babies, you just go run through it. If they don't have that mark, man, that mark of exemption, that thawa, you see? So the Lord's coming to pass judgment, but he's going to use his what? His chariots to render his anger with fury, man. You see? Salakia. Let's go into the book of Second Ezra, man, because I can't really complete this lesson unless I go into that Second Ezra 13, where the Lord comes back, man. How he gonna come back? It's gonna be amazing. You see? This is Second Ezra 13:1. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, the number of completion, the complete number of days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Verse 3, man, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. The Lord is coming back with thousands of chariots, man. Okay? And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled, because Yahweh Shai is going to come up on that great big mothership, like I was telling you before, like that movie Independence Day. Okay? That's how he's going to come back. He's going to come with the thousands of heaven, and his ship is going to be the biggest ship, the Father's ship. And that voice that came out of his mouth, all right, and that thing that burned everybody, that's the laser beams that came out of those chariots, man. Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four corners of the world, or the four winds of heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and he flew up on it. Come on, man. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held a sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw he sent out of his mouth, out of the chariots, as it had been, a blast of fire, 1, out of his lips a flaming breath, 2, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Come on, man. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with great violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. And they burned them up every one, so that upon of a sudden an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Yahweh Shai is coming to bring salvation to his elect with them chariots, man. Supernatural power. You not excited? Huh? Yo, our salvation is nearer than what we believe, man. All we have to do is to continue to endure. All right? The chariots of the Heavenly Father are real. They have always existed. All right? Go into those documentaries where they're talking about these different paintings on the wall that look like UFOs and shit. All right, Yahweh Shai, the angels have always been here, man. So with that, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone who do rule well. Once again, peace and salutations to the brothers doing the work in truth and in sincerity. To you all, I say, Shalom.